Please.
I'd be delighted to. Nice to see you, Scott. There's a lot of talk about you not scoring goals and etc, etc, etc. It's not a bad problem to have, though, is it, if you're still winning games?
No, yeah, exactly. I mean, the way this football world works, it doesn't surprise me. But yeah, I think you're right. We're in a good place. We're winning games, and we've done it exceptionally well, considering where we were and currently where we are. So more than happy. We live in a world where everyone wants to pick up on little negatives and try and make a spin of that. But like I said, I'm really happy with the team, happy with the areas we're getting into and how I'm seeing that develop really. So all part of it really. So of course we recognise that there's certain bits that we need to improve on, and we'll try our hardest to keep nudging that along really.
I heard you say on Tuesday night that, and I'm paraphrasing a bit, but there are areas to work on and we can still do better in certain. Would it be a bit weird to come in and go, we're already at our maximum capacity? Do you actually want to have lots of room for improvement?
Of course, yeah, always. And my experiences are that you'll have many more rooms of improvement with one game to go at the end of the season. And that's just part and parcel of the job, and that's part and parcel of teams, really. That's professional sport. Things change, things evolve, so you're always constantly looking to improve and make adjustments. And certainly from where we are and in terms of our development, there's loads and loads for us to do. And we all recognise that, never overreact in certain moments, and like I said, so yeah, we'll endeavour to keep improving on that really as a team.
You've obviously had a transfer window that's brought about a lot of change. We're not going to go there again. For those that were here last season, does it take some adjusting to be in the Championship and to go from being a team that doesn't win a lot of games to a team that's expected to win a lot of games?
Definitely, yeah, definitely, 100%. And again, we've been in them situations. I've been in them situations as a player and certainly as a coach. So last year takes a massive effect on one's psychological element, and as a team and as a group of players, you're not winning many games, and it's a big challenge there, of course. And you're fighting for some air, and then within the space of a 4 or 5 week pre-season and a summer break, you come back and you're expected to win most games. So of course you have the quality, but winning becomes a habit for sure, and changing that mindset from where it was or where it has been to current situations, there's challenges there for sure. And I think the lads have been brilliant in that, and obviously a new group, so they bear, some of them bear no real scars from that as well, which makes it easier. But like I said, the boys have been first class regarding that side of it.
Last question on the top end of the pitch. You talked about not being really surprised that that's being talked about even though you're winning games. Is it annoying when there's a sort of perception that's out there and people are talking about it?
I suppose you get used to it really, and of course, we can't control that, and I can't control that. I understand the narrative, and certainly in the world we're in professional sport and football, that narrative gets spun constantly. That narrative will be spun another way if we was free flowing, scoring. There'll be something else that maybe people want to pick up on. So look, like always, you have to stay balanced. You have to trust in what we're doing. We're here constantly. We're seeing it. The players are working tirelessly. We have a real understanding of where we need to improve. So I'm very aware, and certainly over my experiences in football is try not to let that noise escalate. There'll always be noise, and one week it'll be us, next week it'll be someone else. You see it constantly. One week you'll be the best team in the Championship or the best team in the Premier League, and the following week you'll have a couple of bad results and you'll be the worst. And that's the way it is. You need to stay balanced and level in these situations. So like I said, look, we've lost one game so far this season, and this team is showing certain traits and certain qualities of a really good side. We're also showing areas where we need to improve, and you could say that about large parts of every single football team in the leagues really. So I'm really pleased with where we are.
You've conceded 4 league goals. There's only one team conceded fewer, I think, in Sheffield United. How much of that is a credit to the whole team, obviously, but to a young back four, a young goalkeeper who had some criticism and some tough times last season, to have played the way you've played and been defensively that strong?
Amazing, yeah. That back four the weekend, or what has been the back four for the last 3 or 4 games, is a young back four. There's a right back playing it who's a left footer, left-sided centre half we brought in at the football club. So ideally, you see him as a left-sided centre half. If not, you see him as a left back. Bash is playing at right back and done incredible. Young CJ, who has not had a lot of football in that sense, has come in, has been rock solid as well. Lucas Perez coming in from a new environment, new culture, and like you said, Traff last year as well, where it was tough for him at certain moments. So I think as a back unit, including the keeper, of course, there's big credit to all of them because this is new and some of them are learning on their feet. But I think as a group and as a team, the reason why we've managed to be secure is in terms of what we've done as a team, really. So solid, good organisation and a real understanding of the foundations of what's going to get us results, really, and that gives us a platform to win football matches, and that's given us a platform to win football matches, certainly, and there's been many a game, one being the other night, when the game turns a little bit and you're a goal in front, the game starts becoming a bit edgy. Like every championship game, they take more risk, you need to dog something out there and protect your lead. We did that immensely well, and I'm very pleased in that.
You said before, you can't win 3 or 4-0 every week. It's just not the way it works. If it's to nil, are they almost helping you win the games and giving you a better chance because you only need to score 1 goal? Is that another way we can look at this goal scoring thing?
Well, it probably is. Look, we all want to score goals. We all want to be this free flowing. Every game, every team you go out, you want to be solid and you want to go and score. And the week on Tuesday night, there was opportunity there at half time. Maybe we should be 2 or 3 up and the game should be outside. That isn't the case. We're not sitting here, or the group are not sitting here and we're saying, this is the way we are. We understand what we want to be. But like I said, you're up against 11 other men who are dogged in certain moments, and for sure there's elements what we can improve on and get better. But first and foremost, it does come from a solid foundation, and that foundation is a 0 in our end, and that's with the quality we have in this team. We'll probe out and eke out chances that hopefully we can be clinical and win games, really.
Here's a question for you. How were you at geography at school?
Yeah, not great.
Do you have to be good at geography to be a football manager? Because you end up in all different places, and I imagine you have to quite quickly get to grips with derbies, rivalries, all those little things, and you've got another one this weekend.
Yeah, of course. Yeah, no, I understand that. I understand rivalries, and certainly I understand derbies. I've been involved in many, and I've been around many, and all at different clubs. So, yeah, again, now we face another derby, and certainly we'll understand exactly what that means to fan base and us as a team. I think we've said it before, previous when we played in the derby, in terms of that added little bit of spice. What it brings, the weekend will be no different. 12:30 kick-off Saturday, and the local team coming to obviously face us. So we'll be well prepared for that and what's in store, really.
What did you learn about your players as people, as characters, as much as anything from that last really big derby, and might be replicated this week?
Yeah, well, I learned a lot in terms of this. I think that derby was 3 or 4 players playing after literally being chucked in, of being in the building for a matter of minutes or an hour's training session. And I think if there's one thing what's impressed me the most is this togetherness in this group, and how quickly they've gelled together as one group, really, and understand the different dynamics of football matches, for sure. And that togetherness has been vital for us so far, and I have no doubt that will stay with us. And certainly at the weekend, we're going to need every bit of that as well, really. So they're the main learnings, really.
Paul Heckingbottom's another member of your Championship promotion club, gone in at Preston North End fairly recently. What have you made of their fortune since he went in there?
Yeah, I've come across Paul a couple of times when he was at Sheffield, really. So really good guy first and foremost, good coach, done an incredible job at Sheffield the year they got promoted as well. Coming off the back of a very good result from last night, so a well-organised side. We'll know that under no illusions there in terms of what we'll be prepping against, and like I said, a really good manager that knows his way around this league as well. So challenges there the weekend for sure, but we'll be prepared and ready for them.
They've had their struggles away from home. They're unbeaten at home under Paul Heckingbottom. Do you have to, and obviously you always do this when you're at home, but do you want to lean into that hostile Turf Moor atmosphere as a result? Yeah,
of course. Look, we're at home side here. We need to bring every bit of us to this game, really, and impose as much pressure as we can on this game, show our quality. and stress this team as much as we can for sure. So yeah, look, like I said, home game for us. Whether it was an away game or a home game, it doesn't really matter. We'll go and drive at this game in terms of trying to do the best we can to earn the 3 points on Saturday.
We talk a lot about the atmosphere and we want to make it a fortress. Burnley have lost one championship home game in their last 40, nearly 2 seasons worth. I know that's well before your time, but from your experience in this division, how hard is that to do?
Yeah, it's very hard. Yeah, it's tough. It's really tough. And home form is obviously key for sure. Certainly, if you want to be in and around where we would like to be in and around at the end of the season, and we do need to make our home patch really, really difficult for teams to come. Their numbers suggest that, every bit of that really. So long may that continue. We'll keep driving on that in terms of making that happen and making it as hard for teams to come and play against us at turf for sure, and keep improving regarding it as well.
And I'm sure you've watched in detail Preston North End against Watford from the other night. Milutin Osmaic scored twice in that game. He's got this disciplinary proceeding hanging over him for a biting incident. Do you expect him to be available and to be playing against? Are you preparing to face him, or do you got to wait and see?
Yeah, we'll prepare for both really. So obviously I think, we'll prepare for both scenarios regarding it. Not too much focused on it really. If he plays, he plays, and if he doesn't, he doesn't. We'll be more focusing on what we need to do. Of course, full respect for him. He's obviously scored a couple of goals as well, but our main focus will be not so much whether one of their players plays, will be more about us.
Thank you very much.
Thanks, Dan. Matt.
Hi, Scott. Conor Roberts named in the Wales squad. We expect him to be available for Saturday.
We'll be in and around it again. He trained today, so again we'll make probably a decision on Conor tomorrow leading into the game, and then if he obviously doesn't make it, we'll obviously work backwards from there regarding internationals.
And Zion as well, how's he getting on?
Yeah, really well, same as Conor. So came out today, has been training. So again, both of them obviously being out for a little while now, we need to tread a little bit carefully, but I think tomorrow will be a bit more clear for us in terms of where we position them at the weekend, whether they're available, whether we involve them, or whether we don't really. Don't want to risk too much, certainly with what they both had. So we'll make decisions tomorrow really on that.
And with Joe, well, what's the extent of that one? Is that a bit longer than those two?
Joe's probably a little bit, hoping not too long, but at this present moment in time, we'll see exactly. Again, it's probably a bit more day to day with Joe, so we'll see where we are.
Yeah, you mentioned the international break next week. What is the plan for next week in particular? Is it sort of a more time off, or are you back in as normal?
No, the players will get some time off, and then we'll work through the week because it's a good opportunity really. I know we have a few internationals going away, but for sure will be a week where we work and maintain fitness, improve fitness even, and certainly an element what we keep trying to nudge along here, trying to improve fitness, and then obviously just improve more work in our detail of what we need to be as a team really. So next week, an international week, the following week gives us a good block of days to actually get some real good work in really.
Actually, about Luka Kolyosha, I've noticed on Tuesday night, he seemed quite hard on himself. Like he was a bit frustrated with his game, even though I thought he played well. Is he a sort of player you have to sort of take to the side and speak to him about those sort of things, put an arm around him? Yeah,
he probably is. I think you probably see that I'm the first to compliment. I think we all understand the level of player we've got in that sense, a young, exciting player with huge potential. And I think that's exactly what it is, young, and you see sometimes that in terms of his general demeanour at times, can beat himself up and get really frustrated in certain moments, and I suppose that's just where he's such a young boy at this present moment in time in terms of learning that side of it really and trying to stay a bit more balanced in certain moments. But yeah, we're working with him, and I'm certainly working with him regarding them situations because he can. He's probably a boy that's always looking for perfection, and it's not a bad trait to have, that you want to be perfect in every scenario, but perfection is very hard to get to really, and that you need to, while you need that aspiration of being that person, of course, always striving to be the best, there needs to be some level of balance there, and that's probably just a young boy really at certain moments which needs to learn that a little bit.
Yeah, after the Plymouth game, you mentioned that Lucas Perez, he doesn't speak the language. So how is that coming along, and how difficult has it been with Vitinho leaving? I'm guessing he was a big help before he left. Yeah,
Vitinho was a big help for us in terms of that communication barrier. It's it's harder, of course, with Lucas, but in terms of showing him through clips and obviously highlighting certain issues in terms of the playing is a bit more easier. But yeah, it's all fine in terms of that, really. And he's a great boy, really. Real endeavour about him, wants to learn, and yeah, he's all good.
We've seen today that Jack Cork's come back to the club. I know it's an academy role, but how important is it to have sort of players of his stature, his reputation in the club back, involved with at Gawthorpe?
Vitally important, really. Someone who understands the club, someone who knows the club. Being in and around, I suppose, is pretty similar to me when I went back into Spurs as an under-18s coach. Really, them experiences you have as a player and bringing the young players through, and you can try and educate and pass all them experiences on, even on the training field as well, are going to be massive in terms of the development of the next crop coming through, really. And really pleased that Jack's part of this. And them young boys have got someone with massive experience who they can lean on for sure, and gain every bit of experience from him. And we welcome him here, and no doubt will add massive quality to that group.
Lovely. Thank you, gentlemen.
Cheers.